My name is Ray Thorpe, and I founded the Happy Herb Company because I found that there was a total ignorance about plants and herbs in myself. It's only when I became aware of plants and herbs I thought, wow, how do we get that message out there? And I thought I'd open up a market stall, and then from there went to 54 shops around the world spreading that plant message, really. Well, for one, I always remember Salvia divinorum. Sure, it is a strong hallucinogen, but only lasts seconds, And one guy who suffered from really badly all his life from depression came out of depression just on one use of it, And then shortly after they banned it, S9, not even for research purposes, so we're pretty upset about that. Then in America, now American shops were selling kratom and people were getting off meth addiction and heroin addiction, and we were so looking forward to it. We had friends here who you might know growing it for us, and we were going to import it, and before we could get anywhere there was a bit of internet chatter which the EGA obviously monitor, and they banned kratom, the only country in the world apart from Burma and Thailand to have it banned, and there's other nefarious reasons for the banning of it there. And yet it had such tremendous therapeutic benefits, again for depression, but also for getting people off either speed drugs or opiates. And that's our biggest scourge at the moment, it's our biggest problem, and there they are, banned that plant again, S9, not even for research purposes. Well, we've made plenty of submissions to the government. They seem to ignore it anyway. Apart from the time that we stopped plants with hallucinogenic qualities being banned here, and that's only because we got the gardeners together. And a colleague of mine and yours thought of that great idea, and he appealed to them because we were making no headway. And I'd spent $10,000 in advertising around Australia, and this is the problem. Australians are apathetic. They're just happy as long as they got their beer and whatever else. But when it comes to herbs that they don't know about, they're not prepared to stand up. It happened, we spent a lot of money trying to stop and making that awareness when kava was being banned. Again, the only country in the world that was banning kava, and kava is so good for pain and anxiety. And now you can get kava, but only in pill form, not in its natural form. So, yeah, this is the thing. And we just found that we're always hitting our head against a wall. But when we got the gardeners involved, and so many of them wrote to the government, they decided not to go ahead with that ridiculous proposed law of banning wattle trees, cacti, anything. And most of our plants contain a hallucinogenic substance, and I think all wattles contain DMT. Well, were they going to denude the country of wattles? Well, they said, so long as you weren't cultivating the wattle, that where do you draw the line? Are they growing naturally on your property or not? It's just wrong. I mean, when people are dying with pharmaceuticals every day as we speak, and they pick on natural plants, who are these people? Do they think they're God? We are always speaking up for plants, but we actually found that we didn't get much support in that area either. We're hoping to, and it would take a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of publicity before we do. So we work quietly, I think, through our shops and through my book, Happy High Herbs, and I think we get the message out there. I've met people from overseas who know of our company, and we're not even overseas anymore. Well, it certainly did place a big blow on Happy Herb Company. We lost a lot of shops because we lost our best products, because we were offering alternatives to illicit drugs. And my point of view is whatever people were buying as an alternative to illicit drug was one less illicit drug that was out there in the marketplace. I happened to notice a big upgrade in the use of illicit drugs because there were no alternatives, and we can't even promote alternatives. It's actually against the law to say that this natural substance will get you high or will give you an effect. A stupid law written by school kids, I don't know who wrote the law, it's badly worded as you said, I love the one in South Australia that says a legal alternative to an illegal drug is illegal.
Yeah.
And I've read that so many times, looking at it and going, that's a real catch-22 phrase, eh? Law. And I remember protesting 20 years ago when it first came in. Again, not much public support, not at all really, and we were trying to gain it. We were waving banners because it's a $25,000 fine in Queensland if a book happens to mention, any book that includes an illegal drug and any conversation about it is automatically illegal or banned. And we lost $10,000 worth of books at the Brisbane Wharves. Some of them were the Encyclopedia of Psychedelics, I think was one of them, and the other one I forget right now, but only because one mentioned Ibogaine. Ibogaine, which gets people off drugs. And my book has been seized and burnt also because in my book I also mention illegal herbs and why they're illegal and the safe way of using them. And a couple of times in the past, thank goodness, touch wood, not recently, my books have been taken away from our shops and confiscated. I'm so grateful for the EGA and what you do. I'm right behind it, of course. I just can't be there this year, but I think you do a marvellous job because the more we can stand up for plants, the more it brings people back to nature. This is what it is, you know. I got it at the harm reduction. They're all slewed to pharmaceuticals, for goodness sake, you know. It's only been for the last 100 or 200 years that, pharmaceuticals have really been around. And I mean, in my grandfather's day, you could buy cannabis in the pharmacy and you could buy opiates in the pharmacy, and there never was a problem. And that's the way it should be now. We should be able to buy cannabis and every substance, in a pharmacy or a drug pharmacy, you know.